understand what Diego is saying regarding the action of the government, but politically, the government is not with the people that are having the suffering. These killings in my political party are not because of any reason, are because of political reasons. In the threats we are receiving, the people that are threatening and killing militants from Colombia Humana are said because we are from the left. And we are covered by an opposition law that the government has the obligation to protect the opposition. But in contrast, what we are seeing is that we are being targeted to be killed, and there is not even a reaction, a political reaction from the government. And also what the person that is in the US was saying regarding the mass protest and mass protest movements, social protests being infiltrated by insurgent groups is one of the main accusations from the government to actually use force against the mass protest and take out legitimacy of the actually very just demands that are putting on the government. The government is not responding with strength to the demands from the people. What they're doing is using repression, abuse, police abuse, and actually what happened in Bogotá is terrifying. I was in the massive protest in the street, and I saw myself, the police, abusing the people. And we have a minister of defense that has to abide a constitutional court order to actually take measures to guarantee social protest as a fundamental right. And what he does is trying to avoid political control in Congress. What he does is actually the president, and the next day, 10 young people were killed in Bogotá, goes to congratulate the police, 10 people that supposedly were killed by the police themselves. So we don't see really a care from this government on what's happening to social leaders, and what they are is in a political struggle. They are close to dialogue. They don't even, the president doesn't have the capacity to sit, to talk to the indigenous people that are being killed, and they can tell us a lot about their programs and what they're doing, but they don't have a democratic and political response. Their response is going to authoritarianism, and we are very afraid of that, because that attitude of the government is giving legitimacy to those that think they have the right to threat and kill people that are defending the rights all across the country.
Yeah, Diego Molano, that's the charge that's been leveled, that the government does not engage in dialogue enough. Your response?
First of all, what just Susanna mentioned, and let me address some of the concerns that Susanna expressed. First of all, we are in a democratic state, and of course, the government, President Duque, the military, and the police forces respect democracy and respect the social protest. Just only to mention a number, in the last 8 months, more than 325 protests, social protests, pacific protests, happened in Colombia, and they developed based pacifically, and the security for those protesters has been provided by the military forces and the police, and these protests have been against the government, some of them. Some of the protests have been developed by different social groups. It means that here is a democratic state which the government respects the protest. The second issue that she raised is related to what happened in the last September 9. In that night, after the killing, unfortunately, or a civilian, based on some abuse of police, what happened this night is that because different manifestation of some of civilians, some groups infiltrated, attacked some of the police centers in the neighborhood of Bogotá City. More than 63 of these police centers and community centers for the police in those neighborhoods were destroyed, were they fired, and the police were under attack. More than 300 police were attacked this night, and of course, this night the order has to be reestablished by the police and the military forces based on those attacks to the authority and to the police. Of course, recently there has been a discussion with the Constitutional Court and with the judicial system in order to get a system and I will say a protocol in order to how to ensure that the protest is developed peacefully.